That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Dark Phoenix was directed by Simon Kinberg and is the conclusion to the long-running X-Men franchise. I would have had this review out last night, but I was very tired, so I just decided to do a review on it today. I've heard bad things about this movie back in February when the first reactions went up, but the bad reviews went up for this movie about a week before, which sucked because I really wanted this movie to be good. After seeing it though, I don't think it was that bad actually. It's not great. I wouldn't even say it's that good, but it's better than a lot of people said it was. That's not to say that this movie isn't disappointing though, because this movie is not nearly as good as I wanted it to be, and I'll talk about why. But first, let's talk about things I liked about in this movie. Performances, everyone's great in this movie. James McAvoy, terrific as usual. Michael Fassbender, terrific as usual. And all the other actors. Sophia Turner, really good in this movie as Jean Grey. And everyone else is just really good in this movie. That shows how the characters are very great in this movie as well. Another big movie that just came out last week was Godzilla King of the Monsters. And all the characters in that movie were so boring, which made this experience kind of refreshing because, like, you know, I actually saw characters that I really cared about and that you've grown to love for, like, forever. And that just shows that, like, this movie does a good job with them. And Godzilla did not do a good job with them. But I already did a review on Godzilla. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. But, yeah, all the characters in this movie are great. Whenever you see them on screen, you know, you just have that feeling because it's, like, the last one. That it's just like, this is one of the last times you're going to be able to see him on screen, if not like the last time. And, you know, I had that like emotional feeling during this whole movie. And, yeah, I just love the characters in this movie. The soundtrack, there's a long running soundtrack throughout the whole runtime of this movie. And it's not like during every second of the movie, but, you know, it's a really like constant theme. And I liked it. This action is really good in this movie whenever it's happening though, because there's not that much action in this movie. But say like the third act fight scene, it's really good. It's on a train. You've probably seen it in the trailers. It's a really good scene, and you kind of see the X-Men turn like on each other sometimes in this movie, and I won't give too much away, but that kind of makes the movie more unpredictable. But then, you know, stuff, I don't know, I don't really want to get into spoilers, but it's like a flaw and it's also like a huge plus to this movie. And if I do a spoiler review on this movie, which I doubt, you know, I could talk about it more, but you know, I don't really want to talk about it in case you haven't seen it. Okay, but there is things I didn't like about this movie though. It wasn't as suspenseful as it could have been, and there's so many scenes that had the ability to be like really intense and everything, but some of them kind of just fell flat, and a little bit of it was like anticlimactic. But there's some suspenseful scenes in this movie though, and another thing I didn't like was, this is like kind of like behind the scenes thing. I don't know, but they got a first time director to do this movie. Why? I mean, Simon Kinberg, I've heard he's a really nice person. I heard he's like a big nerd and everything. And I've just heard he's a great person, but like, I don't know why they would get him to do like such a big blockbuster, like that's the end of a franchise. I don't know why they would get a first time director for a movie this big. And you kind of see it during this movie. And yeah, that kind of makes it like go downhill. The pacing is really uneven in this movie as well, especially during the second act. You really see that it's a first time director in the second act, because like it just drags so much. And this movie doesn't even feel like it has a proper first, second, and third act. It kind of just feels like a big like a mishmash of like a bunch of scenes made up to make one movie. It doesn't really feel like there's a proper first, second, and third act. It also ends off really anticlimactically, but I don't know. I can't really get into spoilers. Jessica Chastain's villain is boring. Whenever she was on screen, I just wanted, you know, that to go by, and I just wanted to see all the other characters. because her villain is just, some people who wants the humans dead, wants this power. It's like, I don't know. I didn't like her character. And they do something with a specific character, which I can't talk about, but I don't know. It just, I can't even talk about it. It's just, it happens in the first act. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But it's just, they made it kind of unlikable, who this character is. And then there's like an emotional scene and everything, but like I didn't really care that much because, what they did in that first act. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix is a pretty mixed bag movie for me, but I still do not think it was as bad as I thought it would be. I just think it could have been a lot better, and if they didn't get a first-time director to do this movie, which is like such a big movie, I think it could have been a lot better. I enjoyed this movie, but I still think it was very disappointing. I'll give Dark Phoenix a C+. So that's it for X-Men. Man, I had this constant feeling during the movie that this is the last one, and this is probably the last time we get to see these characters on screen. Though this movie wasn't that great, it is kind of special for me since I didn't get to see any of the other X-Men movies in the theater. So this is like the first X-Men movie I've seen in the theater. Huh. Wow, that's weird. Can't believe I haven't seen any other X-Men movie in the theater. I was gonna see Logan, but I don't know why I didn't. Anyways, I saw the other ones at home, but thank you guys so much for watching. I messed that sentence up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm hoping on getting a video out for the ranking of all the X-Men movies, and a video for the John Wick trilogy ranked, which I've been planning for a while. And anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.